Alright, what's going on, strugglers? Welcome to another trade recap for today. Today was Thursday. Unfortunately, I took a loss, so I'm gonna go over it right now. So, yeah, let's get to it. So, coming into Thursday, on the higher time frame, my bias was bearish, and as you can see, yesterday we had traded from this 4 hour fair value gap to this low right here. And what we did after going through that low, we actually ran that low and formed another fair value gap right here. And we actually made the move during Asia session, the move that I wanted to see during New York session. But we actually did it during London session. As you can see, we traded into that far fair value gap, went lower, and targeted that low right there. So exactly the same setup as yesterday, but it just played out during Asia session. So coming into New York session, as you can see, we just went lower and lower, and I think at market open right there, I think it was right here, was this candle right here, this 1 hour candle, and yeah, we had this 1 hour fair value gap. So what I actually wanted to see, basically I was lower, but I wanted to target this 4 hour fair value gap. As you can see, this right here was my draw on liquidity for today. And yeah, when I come into the charts, I'm just trying to find my draw on liquidity and basically trying to see where I can go to that draw from. So if I have this 4 hour fair value gap as a draw on liquidity, I'm trying to see where I can enter from. And as you can see, we had this 1 hour fair value gap right there. So basically I wanted to see price right here retrace into that 1 hour fair value gap to then go lower, right? Or what I could see is price coming into that 4 hour fair value gap and then target that 1 hour unmitigated gap, right? And as you can see, when market opened right with this candle right here at 9:30, I wanted to see price maybe go higher, right, into the 1 hour and then go lower. But we actually traded into this 15-minute gap. And looking back, honestly, like this was the perfect entry. Honestly, I like the fact that we are close to this draw. It's easier for price to just tap into this 15-minute gap and then go lower. However, like I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to risk it, and I actually kind of wanted to maybe, honestly, from this 15 minute, maybe inversed this gap and then targeted 1 hour. So from this swing low right there, but we didn't have any SMT, so it just showed me that price was running lows. And I'm gonna be honest, I just wasn't sure where to actually enter, and like where I should have entered is from the 15-minute gap right here at market open. So right when market opened, no, actually pre-market, we actually already went higher right there, and when market opened we straight up dumped. So I can't necessarily do anything. I wasn't prepared to go that low yet. But yeah, honestly, the trade that I should have taken was right here when we inverse this 5-minute gap, um, after coming into this 15-minute gap right there. So this right here on the 5 minute, inversing this gap, this would have been perfect to short to target this drawn liquidity, which is the 4 hour gap. I hope I'm not confusing you, because honestly I'm kind of confusing myself, but it's okay. But whatever, right? So we traded from this gap, targeted the 4 hour gap, and that's when I actually like wanted to see lower price, right? Because we are actually dumping. Like the momentum on that dump was huge, and we were quite honestly running that low, in my opinion, right there. And basically I actually wanted to short from this 15-minute gap right there, um, but we didn't. We just inversed the gap right there, and it was honestly a good buy option, because we inverse the 15-minute gap, but the risk that we were to target this 1 hour gap was really bad, so I just decided to sit out. So yeah, so as soon as price disrespected this bullish gap, traded into that 1 hour gap, that's when I actually was interested to look for shorts, right? The reason why is that we entered on this 1 hour bearish gap. I wanted to see price reject and target internal liquidity in the form of this 15-minute gap. And as you can see right here, price made an SMT. I went into the 5-minute first. We had also internal liquidity right here in the form of this gap. On the 1 minute, not the 1 second. On the 1 minute, as you can see, we had inversed some fair value gaps right there. So this gap and this gap, we inversed it, formed that SMT, and yeah, I just wanted to see price dump to target that internal liquidity. However, I ended up getting stopped out. And looking back, honestly, it really wasn't a good trade. I respected my plan, which is completely fine. And as you can see, later on, price did end up target that internal liquidity. And it's unfortunate. I wanted to see price with this 15-minute candle go lower. But I've actually realized something. And that thing is that when price goes into a P array, right? Let's say on the 15-minute, let's say for example, right? Look at this candle right here. So price goes into that 1 hour fair value gap, but we don't have like a clear rejection. And what I mean by rejection, like this for example, this wick is a beautiful rejection. Let's see maybe another example. This wick right here, this wick, this wick, this wick right here, like these wicks right there, like clear momentum, right? However, right here, this candle, like you can't argue that it's rejecting off of it, but we still have this bullish momentum right here. So looking back, it doesn't really make sense for price to just go lower right there. And what I've realized is that once price goes into a P array and like it doesn't necessarily reject from it first, price will most likely reject off the previous candle high right there. It didn't happen right there, but I've seen it happen so many times, right? Where price goes into a P array, fails first, right? To go lower from that P array, rejects it and then go lower. If I can maybe show an example is on Euro USD today, because I actually took a loss on Euro USD and I kind of want to show you guys what I mean by that. Is that right here, this is the perfect example, right? So here on Euro USD, price goes into a bearish gap, and look at that, that's exactly what I mean, is that this 4-hour gap doesn't like create a big wick to show us that it's respecting it. What happens? We reject that high right there and then form the wick that I'm talking about to respect that P array and then go lower. So this honestly was just like a sign for me that it's just not going lower yet. And as you can see right there, we also had this 15-minute chicken nugget of a fair value gap. But honestly, like I could have waited for price to tap into it, and here, like after tapping it, we did target that internal liquidity, so I could have catch like a 1 minute trade right here. So let's see, this would have been perfect, honestly. Look at that. So we tap into the 15-minute, reject the high that I'm talking about, enter off this 1 minute right here, stops at the high, and like this is a perfect 1 to 2, like perfect 1 to 2 to target internal liquidity, right? But it is what it is. It's a good lesson, a good trade nonetheless. Like I'm okay with that loss. I'm just glad, like honestly, like these past couple of days, I'm just glad that I'm taking one trade a day. Honestly, like it means a lot to me, because it, like my main struggle was to just handle losses, and now I'm just focusing on coming back the next day. Like whatever. But yeah, we did ended up going lower right there. Target these internal liquidity. The PM session was beautiful. Honestly, if I didn't have take the trade, like the PM session showed us a really nice trade. As you can see, right here we formed a really nice SMT with ES and just targeting, like for example, this internal draw liquidity, so this fair value gap on the 1 minute, even on the 5 minute right here, but honestly on the 1 minute to target this, for example, the candle wasn't formed yet, but on the 1 minute, as you can see, like this aggressive move higher, inversing these gaps, this would have been like majestic, beautiful, honestly, to target that internal high right there. But I didn't trade, which is perfectly fine because I had already taken a loss in the morning. So yeah, that's the trade recap for today. Honestly, it was really tricky, really tricky. It's not as simple as yesterday. Yesterday price action was so clear. Like today we had so many bounces, like going lower, then going higher, then going lower. Like honestly, it was pretty hard to guess where price went to go. But yeah, that was the trade recap for today. If you're watching, I hope your trading has been going well. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're progressing. And I wish you all the best. I'll see you strugglers on the next one. Peace.